I'm your host, Sharada Devi, of the Born to be Free podcast that serves as a bridge between the ancient and the new era, a confluence of opposites where all is seen as sacred and every experience is meant to catapult you into your supreme destiny.
Welcome. I am Sharada Devi, host of Born to be Free podcast. And this is a new episode, and I have a very, very special guest with me. A beautiful, dear sister, friend, student, teacher, Mir. We know each other since around 5 years. And we've been in each other's life first in the online world for quite a few years until we finally met in person last year in Portugal. Welcome, Filipa Veiga, mother of two most beautiful teenagers, incredible, dynamic, spiral yin yoga teacher originally, and best-selling author of a book, a yoga book in Portuguese. She was once upon a time a journalist, a lawyer. She has traveled the world with her family and is now residing in Portugal, giving love to her Shakti Nilaya temple, her temple of the goddess for Devi, and she's also in service to the sacred and really loving all the teachings of the sacred feminine, of sacred sexuality. And I think we can say really in the awakening of her sacred sexuality priestess. And so we have so much to share with you today. I'm so happy you're here. Thank you for being here.
So happy to be here. Yeah. It's an honor. Thank you so much for inviting me. And thank you for all your beautiful words.
Yeah, please share a little bit more, because she's also an Ayurveda therapist and like so much. It's really, please share a little bit more about your background as a yogini and Ashtanga yoga teacher in Mysore, right? Many years of spiritual practice.
Many years, definitely. The yoga was the portal that opened to everything which can come, and yoga, more than 20 years ago, almost 25.
Wow.
That I had the blessing of starting to practice, and I danced. Yeah, so dance was what taken me to the yoga, and but I also think, and going a little bit back in my life, that the fact that I grew up in Asia, I went to Asia when I was 4 years old with my parents. I grew up in Macau, and I feel that the fact that I grew up in that environment, with seeing these people, the Chinese people, practicing Tai Chi in the mornings, going to school, all the temples mixed with the churches, and all that very special lifestyle that Macau offered, very unique, with the mix of the cultures, that actually led me years later to embrace the yoga, because at that time I was living in Portugal and I was studying law. Yes, I studied law, and I did the full thing, 7 years of law, which was meant for some reasons, and completed. I just had this vision that I had to practice yoga, and there was almost nothing at that time. And I searched, I started to research in Lisbon. I was living in Lisbon at that time, was the time I lived in Lisbon. And I remember I wanted to practice yoga, so I just went to try to find out, and I was in very strange places and with very, very, types of practice that didn't really resemble to me, but I kept the search. And I didn't even say to anybody, because it was so different. That's how it was. I didn't tell my mother until very many years, not many years, but a few years after that I actually was practicing yoga, because I didn't want to be, again, more different, because I was already a bit different.
Right.
I already didn't fit, and I knew it.
Yeah.
In the law school I was like, they called me the hippie. Just because I dressed different, or I had colors and different, So the yoga came, and I found the Ashtanga, And at that time, I remember, because I had already a very deep physical practice with the dance, so my body was kind of used to being in an intense practice, right? And the Ashtanga, really fell in love with it at the first time, and I fell in love also with the Mysore style.
Maybe share a little bit what is Ashtanga yoga and Mysore stuff for those that are
yes,
new
exactly.
and
Because also there is a lot of misunderstanding, I think, about. I mean, there is a side which is true, but there is also the beauty of the practice. It's there, and the Mysore practice is very beautiful because it's a self practice. So actually, we learn the sequence by heart. And then you go into the room, and everybody's at their own time, at their own pace, at their own breath, practicing together in a room. And that is the beauty of this practice. For me, really is different. You know, there is no following the teacher. The teacher is just there guiding you, answering your doubts, your questions, and whenever you are ready, just giving you more and more postures. And I love that I was free to come in. There was this break, and the classes would last for let's say 3-4 hours, and then you could come at any time, do your practice, and then go. And that freedom, and the fact that I could also just use the breath at my own pace, and it was really, really beautiful. And I'm so grateful, because it really was the opening of then everything else that came. Yeah, it took me to India, back to Asia. So yeah, I'm very grateful. Of course, with time, and it's been more than almost 25 years ago. Yes, my body then at some point also needed something more feminine. I felt that I was missing that. And the yoga world is, I'm not saying that with any judgmental, but I feel that there is a lot of male. It's very masculine in a way. Yeah, it doesn't really address the feminine cycle. I mean, it does. We don't practice when we right? We don't practice when we have our cycle, but it's basically
that
just
was
that.
it, right?
That's
I remember
that's
doing
it.
Ashtanga yoga.
Yeah.
The only rule is when you have your period,
you don't practice. Yeah.
It's like,
you don't come to the shower.
But that was it.
That was it. That was it. Yeah. And so I really started to feel that I needed something which really would fit more my feminine body. And that's when I started to also search for other things, and that's when the Ashtanga world didn't like so much that I started to look for something else. And that's when I started to question why, right? If the yoga comes to bring you freedom and to expand you, then why being something that your body asks you, and also your soul, and then, oh no, you're not supposed to do that anymore. So, yeah. Then
was that from the school itself that they didn't like that?
Yeah,
so
the
much?
teachers very much. Yeah, there is a bit of rigidity, I would say. Yeah, and I'm not saying, I don't know if it's if the Patabi Joys also would say that. I don't know, but yes, you basically follow the guidelines, or if you don't, then you better do something else. There is this kind of. Underlying guidance, which at some point also didn't fit with my own. I came from a very different
rebel a little bit.
in a way, rebel. Also, like, I mean, I grew up with all these things, with the mixes of the culture. So I always wanted that to search more, right?
Yeah.
And if they would tell me you have to follow this, and I tried. I have to say that I tried. Okay, let me see, how does this feel like?
Yeah.
And then I felt like it doesn't resonate with me, and so I just continued my search. And I think that's also what defines me a little bit, that I just keep on searching.
Yes.
There is never end.
An eternal student.
Yes, and I love being a student.
Makes the best teachers.
And I love being a student. I mean, I really do. I love your teachings. Yeah, I love teaching, but being a student is really something I will always be a student. I have the feeling that there is so much knowledge, right?
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah.
So you never really stop.
No. I love that also. My next Swamiji would say, like, Acharya, the teacher, is actually the one that makes other people study with them. That's the teacher, who is a student themselves, but they love to study, and then they make others study with them. So we're just all studying. Like, study doesn't mean like just by the books, academic studying, it can mean, but here we're referring to a sacred study, a very ancient study.
Yeah, ancient knowledge and
body of knowledge.
Yeah.
The Veda. So we're like both have this deep love for the Veda.
Yes, the Vedic wisdom is just so beautiful, so grateful to have, and then have it in my life, and then with the yoga, actually because I also had some issues. I think coming from the foods and lifestyle, the Ayurveda also was a very beautiful discovery. Really helped me. Tripala. I learned that.
Tripala, which is known as Triphala.
Yeah.
Everyone says Triphala, but in Sanskrit it's actually called Tripala. There's 3 fruits that are bitter and help you go to the toilet really well. Help your elimination process.
Exactly.
And Ayurveda is the sister of yoga.
The sister of yoga, totally. And so understanding my body, the constitution, the lifestyle that also resonates with me, that I should follow, understanding the Vata, also because I had a very Vata lifestyle.
What does that mean for those that don't know what Vata lifestyle is?
Yeah, so if you're a Vata person, you have a lot of air and space in you, so that's the elements that you have most. And if you travel a lot, like we did, that increases the air and the space elements in you, so that increases your Vata. So if you are a Vata person like me, and if you travel a lot, that increases your Vata. So actually you have to balance.
And then what happens? Like, what is your experience of?
Yeah, you become even more spaced out. You live on a plane. Imagine you are always flying. Yeah. So our mind gets distracted, our body gets dry, our hair, and then you get constipated, and so your body immediately starts to reveal all the imbalances of the Vata dosha on your own body. So I learned that when I travel, that I should really take care, with even more care than just the normal care for my Vata, to make it in balance. So. Yeah, and you learn these things, and they really, really work.
They really work. I'm also about this. I'm also all about caring. And right now we're here in Portugal. We're in a yurt. Right now it's quiet, but here the wind is eloquent, full on, and we've been living here for a few days, and both our Vata, our air element, has been quite agitated, and so we've been grounding, breathing. Then there's beautiful ashwagandha we can take have in the fridge, like to balance this.
Yeah, the wind really disturbs the Vata because it's air again, so it's movement, right?
More movement.
And more movement than we already have in our system, right? So,
But they're so simple and so
simple, it's so beautiful.
Understanding, it makes total sense, and it's everyone can integrate that into their
if you understand the 5 elements. And you understand the preponderance, what do you have more and less, and you feel it in your body, right? You know, I'm a dry person. I don't have so much water, so the water should be something I have to take a lot, right? I'm very space. I have air in space. That's what constitutes Vata. So grounding, be close to the earth, honoring the land, and just actually not travel so much, even if I love it, because like attracts alike, right? So you attract by what you are, but actually not always that is the best for you. So balancing with the opposites, and actually a lot what the Ayurveda says, which I love, it's synchronizing with nature, with how the nature, with the day, honoring the day, when to wake up, when the sun comes up, seeing the sun rising. I love that. Also was a big change in my life. And also eating earlier, like being Portuguese, and the lifestyle of the Iberian Peninsula is to eat very late, and that really disturbs my digestion, right? People eat at 10 in the night, and it's normal. And that, if for a Vata person, that really, I mean, for everybody, but for a Vata even more, because my digestion, I would eat and then go to bed, and that's not what you should do. So this very simple, but so deep, as you say, advices that Ayurveda gives to you really change your life and make it so much healthier and for your body. And it's really synchronized with nature. You know, live in synchronicity with nature, and it's so beautiful. There is a reason why the sun comes out at the same time, that goes down, and we are part of that nature. So if we also honor the elements and understand, I only didn't speak about fire, right? So the fire, the 5 elements, honoring them and understanding also the time of the day, the time of the seasons, the whole thing. If you understand that you are in this, the elements around you, that you are part of them, and you are like a microcosms of the macro, it really is so beneficial for your, not just body physical, but also for your mind. And that gives fruits in terms of your life, your work, everything in your life expands in a different way, in a beautiful, and without actually spending money. That's the beauty of it. You don't actually have to spend. It's actually quite affordable. If you know this, you study, okay, maybe you can take a course, maybe you can get an Ayurvedic therapy or consultation, and then you understand the principles, and if you apply them, it just really change. And they say also that it's very beautiful that if you live according to the nature, that you also fall in your dharma.
Yes, exactly. The rhythm.
Yeah.
The rhythm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's beauty in its all. Yeah. I'm very thankful for all this the Vedic wisdom, in which I'm still.
We're still in
it.
It's like a Pandora box. The more we know how much we don't know.
Sometimes a bit overwhelming for a Vata, like, oh my God, I have so much to study. But then you understand that whatever you know, it's what you're meant to know, and you just keep on studying. And
and then to share what we know, the little or the much. Like, it's so easy then to get into comparison and like, oh, I know this, and then this person knows so much more, so who am I to share all of this? The imposter syndrome.
I have that. I have more than now. I'm really understanding that, there is always somebody that knows more, and
that's okay.
That's totally okay.
Yeah.
And there's the ones that listen to you, which are ready for you, and you're ready for them.
Exactly.
And the whole is so big, the world, and so many.
And so many people.
So many. They say 8 billion, right? So imagine. Yeah. But all of this is also part of this beautiful knowledge, understanding also our conditionings, our limitations, the traumas that we bring. And so we just build more and more tools to actually live a life full and complete, right?
Yeah.
It's these tools really are they're given.
Yeah.
They are given, and they are there, and they are ancient, and that's why they work, because they are based in so much knowledge and experience that comes from such ancient times, where people really felt the body. They had time. Everything was about that. So I'm not saying I don't believe in the new medicine and the new, because I do. I think science is amazing, but I believe also in the I believe in a world where the complementary knowledge would actually be normal, right? When you go to India, you see Ayurveda, a pharmacy on one side is Ayurveda, and on the other side, I love that, right? And
the homeopath over there.
Exactly, exactly. That's so beautiful, because there is, as you say, the jewels in everything.
Exactly.
And then, taking that and understanding that sometimes you go there, it's beautiful. And in your kitchen too, right?
Yeah.
That's the best pharmacy.
Exactly. The kitchen becomes the pharmacy.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm very grateful. Yeah. It's been I know it's the path which it's my path.
Yeah. And what brought you? So Filipa Devi signed up to her in the journey a few years ago.
Yeah, right.
That's basically how we
we started.
We started our journey.
I
We heard of each other. Yes, I heard of you as well. She's like the co-organizer of Bali Spirit Festival.
Yes.
I knew her of that, and then I knew that also you're organizing other festivals in Portugal, Being Gathering, and
the festival.
Boom, and Wanderlust, and
yeah, it's true.
And I was so like honored that that Filipa comes and joins my course.
Aww, that's so sweet. It's so funny how we all feel. Right, for me it was like, oh my God, I'm going to sign this course. This is like I will study with Sharada. Oh my God, that's so beautiful. Yeah, I think at that time, I think we were in COVID, right?
Yes.
Yes, I think we were like really.
Yeah.
I was living in Germany at that time,
right.
And I attended your. I think I just saw on Instagram your the Navaratri.
Yeah, the 9 nights the Goddess Festival
that you did. I don't know if it was the first or the second, but it was one of the first you did online, and I loved it. And I just looked at the program and I said, I'm ready for it. I was asking because it was very feminine, right? It was your work was already very much there, and I was craving. I think I was coming from a very masculine. Again, nothing wrong, but. No. I really, my body and my soul was like, I need more of this feminine. Also, being a mother, we know that the mother is the highest form of what is to be a woman. Yes, but then your daily life is very doing. So very masculine, in a way. Yeah, exactly. So, and I really. Wanted to discover my body and how my feminine body works and how we are not taught these things. And I have 2 daughters, so I almost felt like a responsibility of knowing mine, so I can also, even if I don't teach them because I'm not their teacher, I'm their mother, at least that they feel right that because our children, I think they feel so much about what we are as parents, and they just reproduce, they just imitate subconsciously. So at that time, I remember even asking them and my husband at that time. We asked, "I'm going to sign this course. Does everybody know?" And I had to. It was these things are family decisions, right? Because I knew I had to take time. Okay, so these days and that days, mommy will be out. Okay, is that okay? Okay, mommy, do it. Yeah, and then. I know I couldn't be there all the time because again, this comes the
mother role.
The mother role. Is that so? The sacred mother tasks, as you call them. And but I signed up, and I was very, very happy that I did. It incorporated a lot of things I knew already, but also bringing the Vedanta, which you also incorporated there with the Devis, also all the. I like the combination because it felt very. From where I was coming, I also like deep teachings, and I felt the deepness in your teachings, and also the very practical side. And I will never forget that. I think it was almost like at the end you did a session with a ceremony with the Yoni egg.
Yes.
It was so beautiful. It was one of the most beautiful Yoni eggs ceremonies for me. I really I remember I cried a lot. And I was alone I lived in a beautiful house in Germany, and I had my not my red tent, but kind of my red tent inside the house. And nobody would disturb me there. And I only remember it was so deep. And thank you for that. And thank you for remembering. Yeah, it was also beautiful and crazy times. So it was a good time to also connect with your body and with yourself. And it was very healing that journey with you and all the Devis. And then we never stopped.
We never stopped. We continued.
We continued. From there we came back to Portugal, and at that time I had bought land in the south of Portugal. We as family, and we thought, well, maybe the world goes so crazy. It's time to have grow your own food and build our own house. Who knows what's going to happen? Being in Germany was very, very was very intense. And I was not used to that. Growing up in Asia where everything is so smooth, and then Portugal was already my limit. So Germany was beautiful. I'm so grateful to Germany, but yeah, we moved out, and we came to the south of Portugal, and so another dream which I had from before, that I had this vision that I would also one day have a place where I could receive how do you say?
Same-minded people.
Same-minded people.
People with same values.
Exactly. And also grow my own food, and that we could practice and do all the rituals in the morning. I would always imagine a garden and a place for practices, and so it's actually these things happen.
It happened so quickly within 3 years.
Oh my goddess! Yeah, we built a house, beautiful, and we have a garden, and now again being a mother, we're taking a step back and leaving it for a while, but I know this is another beautiful project.
And it's incredible. It's so admirable, right? To be a mother and then have a house, but then be able to adjust to the circumstances. Yes. Like that's a big one. Most people totally freak out. And there maybe was some times where also there was some freak out.
Of course.
But then we have the teachings, and we have sacred sisters and support and the altar, and it helps through this profound
so much
transition that you've gone, because like one transition is being a mother, and then the teenagers start to be their own adult, own self, and they go out and become their own person.
Yeah.
And then also you decided to divorce, right? And let go of an 18-year
of marriage. Beautiful marriage, and a beautiful father of my children and beautiful husband. But yes, I think we agreed that our relationship has completed. And actually it didn't finish.
It continued.
We just transformed. And we allowed each other to be happy in ways that we didn't feel that we were anymore. And so Nick is still my super friend, and we are working on it. It's always a work in progress, also to shift a family. We were very close because we traveled all together. We did so much together. We also moved to Bali. We
lived in Bali also.
And but I know it that, and I think he also knows that this was the right decision. I don't think I had one moment. I mean, of course, we had the pain, which detachment, of course, it created moments where one doesn't know if it was really the right decision. But inside, if I go to my truthful being, I know it had to happen. And it just shows that we are still together. We are still together doing exactly the same things. We are still the parents of these two beautiful girls, and now that we all embody this new situation after 2 years, it was just 2 years ago we decided. I have the feeling that we're still going to live the best time as a family, but different. Yeah. Yeah. These transitions are not easy, but when they come from a place of truth, you go through the pain which is inside you, your traumas, your attachments, all of that, and you understand that it was right, because also just being together for sake of being together, which could also have been a possibility. We were very comfortable, but maybe that was it. I guess some humans come to this life not to stay in the comfortable position.
Exactly. Often spiritual seekers, we go there where it's uncomfortable, and we want to see what's the truth of this discomfort. Where does it come from? Exactly. Where does it come from? Is it mine? Of course it's mine. I got to deal with it. And underneath, there's the ananda, the fullness. In that pain, there's the pleasure, the fullness. But thank you for sharing. And it's the reality for so many, but it's not many people that speak about that.
Yes.
We have this fairy tale Cinderella story in our hearts, that we're gonna get married and then be happily married forever after until
till
eternity.
Turns apart.
Yes, and then it continues, and we think that's it. That's the end.
Yeah.
That's the Western myth.
And that can be. I mean, I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, but I think also 20 years. We were together for 18 years. We grow together. We just grow, and we are so intimate in so many ways. But also, at least in our case, it became also after the growth we've been in the 18 years that we actually have different. We want to have 6 different things in life, and we just understood that we are different in terms of our vision, and we still have a lot together, and that's why we still maintain our friendship so strong. And we talk every day. We support each other as parents, and that's, I think, what's most important. That our children, because of course they want any child wants a parent to be together. I think that's very normal. But also, my girls already told me that, Mom, I understand why you are not with Papi together as a couple. But because they see us as we still are together as parents. We still take decisions together. And that's what I think is very important for the children, that the parents don't go and start manipulating and using, when they don't have the same tools, right? And in this case, we understand that. We understood that this was the truth.
Yeah, I mean, like I've been by your side now. You joined the Diamond, actually, like the Mistress Mind mentorship program with 10 other people.
And I think a lot to do with the separation, actually.
Right, it helped. I don't want to say that you come to the Diamond and then separate. No.
No.
Not like that.
No, it didn't happen like that. For me, I felt I needed
support. Yeah.
And instead of going to a therapist, which also did therapy, and I do, and I love therapy, but I needed something more for my body and and also being together with a group of people, and the Diamond really gave that. That there were so many amazing people, incredible people that you were like, that inspire you, and that you see that, wow, I can also do this if they do it. I cannot. The mastermind is beautiful because of that. I learned that. I had never done a mastermind before, but this one, I started to hear about the mastermind. It was very spontaneous. You remember how I just called you and I said, what is this about the mastermind? Explain me, because I know you are more in that. And he said, it's this, and I'm starting mine tomorrow. Are you? Let me think about it. So I sit down. I remember I was in Lisbon, and I was like, can I do it? I can do it. And then I really felt it really was because I wanted to have also something that would make me also knowing your work, doing these rituals, using my tools, being with my altar, being with people that would make me support and make me just being as a sadhana, right? And not because the sadhana is personal, is you make your discipline, your dedication, your devotion. But if you're also in a moment which is a bit fragile, which I was, because of course still was a good decision, but still I had to. Filipa had to die, right? And she's still dying. But at that time, even stronger. Some of me, I mean, being almost 20 years married, it's a lot. It's like basically half of my life. Half of my life, because the other that is I was a child, so it's half of my life. So it was. I felt I needed that support, and it was a very good decision. It was very, very good. The Mondays and the Thursdays, where I was always waiting for the message and for the tasks and what was coming and the deep teachings, and which were very much in the body. Also, I think that's also why I feel the spiritual world now is going to. Okay, the yoga definitely works the body, but it's a lot to the mind, right? The meditation works in the body, but it's a lot to the mind. And now I feel that in the spiritual world we are really going into that subconscious, which is imprinted in our bodies, and we're just not afraid anymore to just go there. It's hard. We know it's your dark side, but it's so beautiful because part of you.
Exactly.
And we are working a lot there.
We are.
Yeah.
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 So the diamond, if anybody's thinking of joining, I definitely recommend, because it's a beautiful journey. It's a beautiful container. I think that's what the difference is, right? You have the other ones. Everybody's is. I don't want to use the word help. Everybody's supporting it. Everybody, right?
Yeah.
We all
lifting each other up.
I remember I had moments where I was a bit down because actually, and I was feeling, and then everybody else was there and supporting. Then I would come and I would cry, and it's a very complete container. Yeah. Because it works in all senses, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you really feel miserable, or you feel like in your biggest high, and you have like the breakthrough, and then the celebration is there, the holding is there.
Yeah.
It's a high level container of people that have been on this journey for some time and know that there's no other way around it. It just is through it. You're going through hell, you keep going. You're going through the fire, you just keep going. You don't stop now.
That was the best of the being,
Yeah, incredible. Yeah.
And then now it just made me remember, because this sentence Sharada told me, like this sentence that we were at the being.
Yeah, so the being, maybe say what is the being?
Yeah, okay, so the being is a festival which is very new actually. It's still almost forming, but I think now it's already becoming like a toddler.
But it still has like 4,000 people, so
yeah, it still is, yeah, exactly.
Still a big people.
But okay, it's the sister of Boom, and Boom is this 40,000 people festival in the north of Portugal. They say it's
stunning.
Yeah,
wow.
The land is like so beautiful. They call it, so that we understand here in this side, that the brother of Burning Man, right? So
the brother of the Burning
like
Man.
the European Burning Man.
The European Burning Man.
Yeah. It's the biggest in Europe, I think. I mean, and I know that even in the old days it was the same people organizing. They were very connected. Yeah, in the old days they were very connected. And so Boom happens every second year, and it's a trans festival, so something really for a specific type. Some years back, it started to come the idea of using the same land on the year No Boom, a more spiritual festival. And it goes back to Bali again, where the team, which they are very close friends, they visited me in Bali, visit us in Bali. And I took them to the Bali Spirit Festival. And it was very fast. They just came back to Portugal and they started doing the being. Yeah, and so then it got, then we did that was the number 0. I was not present because I was still in Bali. And then the first edition, wow, it was so beautiful. Very spiritual, maybe too spiritual for them. Then we had a break of some years because of, again, the same situation in the world. And then now it was back, just June. It always happens at the solstice. They chose the date of the solstice. So I think the idea is to create a festival which is a spiritual festival, but in the Boom land. And that you cannot really explain, right?
No, I could not understand it until I was there.
Yeah.
Filipa talked so much about it.
Yeah, I can talk and talk.
And then I was there and like, okay, now I understand what she means.
Yeah.
Yes.
They are a beautiful team. They really are super professional. They do it so beautiful. And the land is so charged.
Yeah.
You can really feel that it's been so many ceremonies and dances and rituals and
for years.
For years, decades.
Decades. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's 25 years. that the Boom Festival is. Not always in that land, but I would say maybe almost, more than 15 in that land. So the being, I think, this year was very, very special. Also, thank you for coming and trusting and sharing your
Thank
beautiful
you for inviting
teachings.
me.
Yeah,
I had 2 play shops.
Yeah, they were so beautiful.
Vedanta and the world of rituals, and then sex magic.
Sex magic. That was like the highlight of the.
We gotta make a whole new podcast just on the sex magic.
Just on the sex magic.
It's coming. Stay tuned.
Yes, no, it was very, very, very beautiful, and actually, I'm supposed to talk with the team next week, so maybe news are coming for the next being. Let's, inshallah, and as Devi wants, and who's coming, we don't know. But I feel that the being is a festival that, if we are in this path of the spiritual, but you don't have to be anything. It's just if you enjoy nature, if you enjoy community sense of how to live together and actually sharing the same values, it's a very transformative week.
It is.
I mean, it changes the life of.
It was incredible. I loved it.
Yeah.
It was the space, the nature,
everything.
it was really the
the
constellation,
magic,
the installation.
The installation.
The constellation also,
Also the constellation.
of the characters.
Yeah.
And the installation, the love that was poured in, the organization, the program that you helped curating.
I curate a program.
Really like from.
It's a magic.
Yes, high level, experienced spiritual yoga, meditation, breathwork, embodiment teachers, rituals, and then also amazing music.
Yeah, so it's a combination
ecstatic
of
dance.
Yes. And I think the quality, that they really want the quality.
Yeah.
They really don't
compromise.
Thank you for the word. And so it's a combination of very beautiful. So I invite everybody to come to stay tuned. Then
we're gonna have the Devi Temple.
The Devi Temple.
That's our vision.
Okay, that's our vision, exactly. So here we're putting it.
We're putting the seeds, planting the seeds.
Yeah. So yes, the festival as festivals has also been part of my life as far as like very just came in. I started so we moved to Bali as a family in 2012. Me, Nikki, and the girls. And Nikki was passionate about Indonesia, and I'm passionate about Asia. So we just decided at some point to go, and Bali was so beautiful. We stayed there for 4 years. The girls had this initiation as little girls, 3 and 5 at that time.
You can really recommend families who have kids to go for a few years.
That age is really the best.
Which age?
So when they're small. I would not say that Bali is perfect for teenagers, for instance. I mean, maybe it's a bit too much, and maybe, I mean, I'm not saying, but it's when, and also my girls, they have this beautiful Balinese, we call them pembantos. They take care. They take care.
The nannies.
The nannies, and they take care of everything. They don't. They're so sweet to your children. They take us as their own children.
Exactly.
But then, if you're a teenager, they might. You know what I mean?
Too much.
Yeah. Then they don't learn anything. So that's what I mean. That they get too spoiled.
Right.
So if you're a parent planning to go to Bali, and if you have like little kids until the pre-teenagers, it's the perfect time, because they're treated as gods.
Yeah.
They really see them as gods, right? And the children just go into the ceremonies and they love it. I know that Bali left also a beautiful imprint in my daughters. And I was invited to go to I was invited. I actually said I would like to join the Bali Spirit. Now I remember that somehow I would help. And so the first thing I did was I was the flower girl. It was the beginning. They didn't have all these beautiful altars, and the beginning was more simple. So I would get the flowers to put the altars, and that's how I started. So beautiful. And then it just grew. And somehow the festivals became
such a beautiful festival.
So beautiful. and became part of my life, and it's still they are.
Yeah, you brought Bali Spirit to Portugal and created the Portugal Spirit Festival.
We did the Portugal Spirit Festival. I even forget sometimes.
Yeah, I remind you.
Thank you. Yeah, we did. So many of our brothers and sisters, beautiful, came here and shared, and we did it in Cascais, where I was living at that time, in a beautiful palace in the garden.
And just to understand, like to create a festival like that, you're really creating this huge field for so many people to come together in a collective prayer for peace, for love and
experiencing together this
another reality, really, right? Another way of living that.
And they can
bring the values of contribution and taking care, living within the cyclical nature with the elements and coming back to a sacred symbiosis.
It really can change, you know, people, because they go, oh, it's a festival, so people go. But then if it's a festival with all these values, then it really changes the life, and people decide to start suddenly doing dance or yoga, or they just start what they actually already want. I think that's a very beautiful initiation, because people sometimes there are still people that want to go into the spiritual world, but then they think that they are not worthy, or it's for somebody that.
Or they're also scared, because if you sign up for a retreat, then you're like with this one person, with this one group of people stuck, and in a festival, you still have the opportunity to like go in and out and just check out the people, check out the teachers. It's not as of a. I mean, you can do it as your own retreat and really have a very deep experience. But I know many also go to just like start to like
check it out.
Yeah,
it has that definitely. So yes, I hope. I feel that they're still going to have more festivals.
Well, we were actually planning the Navaratri festival in person, which we postponed.
We postponed it
for this year.
There was already so much happening.
There was a lot happening. Yes, a lot of learning, a lot of growth. We'll do another podcast on that.
We have a few next podcasts.
We have a few more to come.
Sacred sexuality and the sex magic.
Exactly. Dharmic leadership. But we do have something very special coming up.
Yes, I was going to say.
And it's called The Nectar of You. It's a 7-day immersion. And Filipa is going to host me, but also hold space. And it's a culmination of my 20 years journey of Vedanta and healing my relationship to the feminine and the masculine. So it is really that journey from separation to sacred union within and without, from drama to dharma, and really making your relationships meaningful, as a means for growth and depth, and owning up the fullness that you are. In the company, you can come alone, but you can also come with your couple. And we're going to look into the different archetypes, which are much more than archetypes, really, actually. We'll explore that from the nurturer to the lover to the warriorness, the king and the queen, and see how they're all so alive in our lives and how we play them out unconsciously, and we can play them out consciously.
So many beautiful elements in this immersion. First, let me say thank you so much for also embracing me and inviting me to come. As a projector, I love being invited. She's also a projector.
She invited me, to Portugal.
So we invited
each other.
And then
she found the place, Maria, which is like the place of my dreams.
There is also a beautiful aspect about the place and the area of Portugal, this area specifically. So it's very intact nature, and it's also very ancient. They say that this was an area of Portugal where there is still a lot of Arab influence in it was where they stayed the longest. And there is an energy that you feel in the area of Portugal where the retreat is happening, which is in the southwest. So it's not the south, the Algarve. People think of so it's in the Algarve, but it's not the more famous Algarve, which is the south, and this one is a bit is more wild, I would say, more intact, and so there is this beauty, wild, strong nature, and so I love it, and you can really feel the energy of the ocean, and the vegetation, which is still the original vegetation, one of the last places in Europe with the original vegetation, and the people that come to this area, it's been attracting a lot of very conscious people, communities, and also just single people that want to just do their projects, like Nunu, which built this beautiful place, right? It's really beautiful.
Like a boutique resort with the rooms have bathtub, some of them, and stove, which is really nice to have in Portugal because the nights can get cold. There's a sauna with the view to the ocean.
The ocean.
Oh my God!
You can see the ocean.
The ocean,
and
not
smell
just like
the ocean.
Yeah.
And
smell, see it, feel it.
It's done to the detail. Very, very beautiful. So it's there is a very beautiful energy about the place and about the region. And in October, it's one of the best times in Portugal for me. It's like really, not just for me, because it is really beautiful, the autumn. And the sundowns, and it's still warm. I mean, if we think of Europe, it's going to be still very warm. You can still go to the beach, and it will be just so beautiful. The skies, the sundown. So that is just to start with, right? And then
that's just the sanctuary around.
Yeah.
And what to talk of the sanctuary we're going to create then with him. Go ahead.
Exactly. No, I was just saying that I wanted to introduce that because also for you it's also still a new you're already experiencing the area, but this is very special. That's also why I decided to stay to build my house and in this specific area of Portugal. It is quite unique. Actually, it's a natural park. Also, it's preserved and because of all the biodiversity of animals and vegetation is very, very beautiful and very special and unique. And there is this just wild side of it, which I love. Very
wild. And then Maria is very luxurious.
And then, yes, exactly. So the blend of it, right?
It's perfection.
Yeah. And then the practices will be beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then we have Anita,
who
is our Ayurvedic chef, and we talked about Ayurveda today, how essential and supportive it is in our life, and especially when we do this kind of deep inner work or play and have the food that really nourishes our constitution and supports us. And Anita is a chef, Ayurvedic chef.
It's a beautiful team you put together.
Yes. Yeah. We have Cindy Devi, who's going to do the Vedic astrology, Savita Devi, who is helping with all the organization also, and especially somatic coaching, emotional support. And we have Lucilla, who's the temple priestess.
Beautiful.
So we have an amazing team. They're ready for you. And we only have actually 16 places, so that really I want to really guarantee the privacy, the full attention.
Yeah. Going to be deep and very beautiful work. I can't wait.
Yes. So nectar of you in Portugal. The nectar of you. Right? So the nectar is the amrita. The amrita is the elixir of deathlessness. And that's what the Veda, the Vedanta says, is that you are that nectar. You. And so it's a beautiful not only metaphor, because we can also look at the nectar that we offer to the world when we are in deep arousal or orgasmic states. Right? We have the nectar, our juices, and they are the amrita, the ambrosia, the sacred liquids when we are in deep joy and love. Well, one can also have those liquids coming when we are in deep pain, actually. Sometimes, like in the mix of pleasure, pain, it's not always clear, and the body has this sacred nectars. So it's that, the nectar of youth, to really, we're going to embrace, with the help of the teachings, seeing your essential nature as that nectar, that essence of this whole universe, the love that is you, but then also really bringing in the embodiment sacred sexuality practices and other incredible tools that help us fully embrace this human life on all levels and its experiences and whatever comes with it. Yeah.
It will be so really beautiful. I can really feel the depth and the joy, and also what people, whoever comes, and we already know some that are coming, will take from that. And also for us, I think it will be a very safe container, because it's important. We're going deep, but also with a lot of beauty. I can envision the beauty.
Yes, the beauty,
which we all love, right? And
we brought lots of beautiful fabrics from Bali already.
Bali will be there.
Bali is there.
So much. Yeah, I like the blend of Portugal and Bali.
Yes,
I had that vision, bringing Bali to Portugal. So I like that.
It's happening.
Yes, it's happening. And yes, so if you're thinking of coming or having some time, and either by yourself or as a couple, as you say, or with a friend. Also, it's beautiful to come with a friend. Like if you're a girl, a woman, and you want to come with another woman, that's also beautiful, because it's also nice to have experiences. Or just by yourself. This is unique.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to share?
Well, thank you so much for being in my life. It's been so beautiful. To have you, especially this last year with all our programs and things together. You really were very a big support in all the transitions that I've been through, and. Also, your programs are so beautiful, also very inspiring for my work. My work has been involved a lot with also Sharada's teachings, and I think that's the beauty, that you do it with so much generosity. So if I say something else, is that thank you. Terima kasih, suksuma.
Obrigada.
Obrigada, exactly.
Yeah. And so how, like really you can join Filipa Devi. Some mentorship.
Yes. I'm also restructuring a lot. I'm writing my second book. My focused more on the feminine. I did my first about my yoga journey and also Ayurveda, but like more general. And this one is also focused more in the feminine. So I would say it's a book for women and men that want to know about women, because that's also very important that our men know actually also our bodies and how we like to, how we function. And that's something we should learn at school, but okay, we are here. And and I really am in a transition. I'm also 47, so also in terms of my life, being now turning single with my daughters, teenagers, they're still home, and I know they're still home next. I hope as many years as possible, but I know that they're also transitioning into their becoming independent young women. So it's a lot of transitions, So I envision that my work will also support women which are in this same situation or path. I mean, they don't need to separate or that. I'm not saying, but we all. I'm still not yet in menopause, but I know that that will come. So then the children, the nest, right? When the nest starts to, when your children go out of your nest. So all of these are things which society doesn't address, and it's so important because women really, really need that support. So I see that my work will now focus in that, in all the roles of what is to be a mother, and all what is to be a mother, and how then you let go of your let go in terms of letting them fly. With you feeling not, oh my God, what am I going to do now? Because I know that happens a lot, and it happened to me. There was a moment I was like, what's going to happen? They are growing so fast, right? And supporting women which are there, and I feel it's where I'm going to, because it's just what I need for me, and then what you use in yourself, then it's what you share with others.
Exactly.
Because we all the same.
Yeah.
We all the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, to all the sacred transitions.
Yes, to all the sacred transitions. Thank you so much for being here with us today, listening, watching. Remember, we're born to be free. Thank you so much. I love you.
I love you too.
And so thank you all. If you like this episode, please leave a comment. Let us know how this landed for you. Questions are welcome. If you want to support this podcast, please subscribe and share it with your friends, with your community, so we can reach a wider audience and more people can discover that they are free and that there are infinite possibilities to let our hearts bloom and live in a world that we want to live in, one where we feel inspired by each other and where we support each other, where when I shine, you shine. When you shine, I shine. And we all shine. We have a really cool video, reel actually, on our Instagram. That is really cool.
We should put it
there. We're going to put it. We're going to put it there. When I shine, you shine. When you shine, I shine. We all shine. Right? And that's the heart of the Veda. To discover that we are one. And that's not just a fantasy or a philosophy, it's a reality. You know? We maybe look different, but the truth is we are one and the same being. And so how do we apply that? How do we discover that? Join us.
Totally.
Yeah.
We wait for you.
Without waiting. Oh, thank you so much.
From my heart to yours, deepest gratitude for your presence. May you follow your wildest dreams, live your highest purpose, and expand into the infinite.